Hello my little storm clouds and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I'm creating a fortune teller's wagon or caravan, and I'm doing this because I want to start a new save file that is going to be all fantasy style, and this will be available at some point. I think I want to get at least one of the worlds completed and then I'll upload it on Patreon. It will be free on Patreon. You can just become a free member on there. It is linked in my description. And like I said, this is my first build that I'm doing, so it might not be for a little while. I have already done some fantasy builds, so I will be importing them into this save file. I have just done a pirate ship, so I will be adding that to the save file when I get to Solani, and a few fairy builds and stuff like that as well. So I came across this idea because I just went onto Pinterest and typed in fantasy Sims builds just to see what other people had done, and I saw someone do a fortune teller one, and then I clicked on that and it showed me a few others and they were so beautiful, so I took some ideas and changed them up a little bit to make them more of my own, because I don't like to exactly copy, but some of the ideas are from other creators. If I can find them again, I will pop their names on the screen right now. So I really enjoyed making this build. Like I said with the pirate ship, I wanted to do something else that was different, and doing a wagon or a caravan is very different for me. I tend to stick with like houses. So I'm really excited to carry on with the save file. If you have any other ideas on what should go in this fantasy save file, just please let me know. So for this I went for like wooden colours and then add some pops of colours. I went for a lot of this emerald green tone, so what's around the edge, and I added this in with the windows. And then we did have to put in the red Realm of Magic window, which I ended up going for the one with the moon and stars in, because I just thought it made most sense. So I did use tool mod for a couple of small items like this to make it look like it had the bit that you would pull along with horses. I don't know exactly how these look in real life, I was just guessing. And I do also end up making the house a little bit bigger. I made it longer by 2 squares, I think, because I was really struggling to fit everything in, because I wanted this to be a fully functional livable home for the fortune teller, as well as have like the seance table in. I do a little seance table outside as well, but I wanted a little indoor one when you first enter, and I think I managed to get everything in. I did set it as off the grid at first because I was like, I really want all of these lots to be off grid, no technology or anything like that. But in the end, I ended up not having that because there was one item that I really wanted to use, and I'll be making a video on this item, but it's how I add sparkles. I'm really excited that I found this out. Again, it was from another creator. They didn't say anything, but I saw them place it and it's just such a fantastic idea. I will be making a video. But yeah, because of those sparkles, I did have to set it not off the grid, which I'm really sad about, but worth it for the sparkles. So the whole idea with this build is it's no longer in use, this wagon, so there's like a lot of grass grown around it because it's been here a while. So she's sort of like set up shop here. This is where she is living now. We've got some clothes hanging out the back. I also did a little like sort of tent area with the bubble blower thing. That is from, I think it's from City Living. I also added a little garden area so she can do some planting. I did go ahead and make a sim, and she will be in the save file. Currently she only has like one outfit, but I will go back in and add more things. She is absolutely beautiful. You will have seen her in the star. I looked up fortune tellers and I saw this piece of art and I was like, I want to base it off her. She was absolutely beautiful. So for the bed area, I wanted it to be like open with just curtains going through. So I do end up changing this because I realised I do need a bathroom in here, so I ended up putting it to one side. The layout took me so long to do because I was just like playing around for absolutely ages to get it correct. What I'm doing now is not what the final one looks like, because like I said, I did extend it in the end to make it a little bit bigger and longer because I could not fit the kitchen in. Because I was like, well, I need a door for the bathroom, but I also need at least one counter free. You need a sink, you need an oven, and you need a fridge for your sim to like be able to live. So trying to fit all those in, I was having trouble, especially because you can use smaller fridges, but because I was going for off the grid at the start, and I still want to keep it off the grid technically, all the items in here are off the grid, other than that one little small item. So it took me a while and I was playing around for absolutely ages. I added curtains to so many of these like doors, and even on just across some of the walls, I just feel like there's always a lot of luxurious fabric when you see these builds. I've never been to a fortune teller, but I'm just going off what I've seen in like films and like TV programs. In the end, there was also not really much of a living space. It's literally just a comfy chair, and I've done like a desk, and that is it for like the living space, because the kitchen had to take up so much. The bedroom is just the bed in the bedroom, and I put some bookshelves in there, but I don't think they're usable because the bed would be in the way. I haven't tested it, but there is bookshelves in the seance room, so it's not too bad. You still have it. I just wanted to add some extra detail to the wall. I wanted to add a lot of ambience and movement to this build as well, so like in the end there's a lot of like potions around the rooms, because when you place the Realm of Magic potions around, little like smoke and symbols come out of them and it looks really, really cool. And then I also used the little projector thing that I think it's base game, I believe it is, and I put that in the like crystal balls to make it look like it was like shooting something out of the crystal ball. And I had a lot of fun adding those things. You do need to go into live mode to do this, so I had to go ahead and make my sim bring her in, because you need to press play to get it to move, and then you can see what it looks like. It's a little bit annoying that you have to do that. You can't just build like normal without a sim in here, but I needed to make a sim anyway for the save file, so it's not too bad. So I wanted the bedroom to be really cozy. I do flip this to the other side. You can see where the bathroom is here. I do flip it the other way. It was because of where I wanted to end up putting the kitchen, I had to flip them, so that is the reason for that, but it's pretty much exactly the same. I want it to be really cozy, and I would have really liked to use like a curved archway, but curved archways next to beds make the bed not functional anymore unless you have at least half a tile in front of it. So I ended up using spandrels and curtains to sort of give that illusion, and as long as you have the center tile free on the bed where you could walk in, your sim should be able to get in there. And I did play test everything in here. Everything is fully functional. So here's me trying to get the like kitchen to work, and I just couldn't get it to work, and this is where I end up extending it very soon, because there just wasn't enough space, because I needed the space open for the door to be able to get into the bathroom. And in the bathroom, all there is in there is a shower and a toilet. The shower is the one from the university pack, because I couldn't use a normal shower because it wouldn't fit in a 2x2, but you can use the university shower and put it in front of the toilet and everything fully works. So here I am making it a little bit bigger, and I did have to go ahead and move everything around and the windows around, which is super annoying, but it's what you got to do sometimes. And I did offset the window on the back to the right hand side, and I was like, it looked a little bit weird, but I sort of need to, because I don't like having walls in the middle of my windows. So I ended up putting like a smaller window over the bathroom, and it made it look a little bit more even, like one big window and one little small window. But this gave me enough room here to do my kitchen, which is what I really, really needed. And then I add a desk in front of the other window, and I think I end up going with this first chair that I placed down. I believe I do. Or do I? And I think I might end up changing it to red. I can't remember. I was going to do two, but I was like, it's too much in this tiny little space. I did want it to be cramped because I thought it just looks cute when stuff's all cramped in, but it wasn't quite working, so I ended up just using one chair instead. I added these lights again. These are off the grid lights. They're just candles. They're quite annoying when you're playing, because sometimes you just see the little top part of the flame just floating around. So if you do want to change it out and just put like a small source of light in, like I said, I took the off the grid thing off. You can go ahead and do that. I love this little desk from Paranormal. The Paranormal stuff pack was great for this build, especially because there is a seance table, so it sort of works like the fortune teller table. So as you first walk in, that's why I decided to put the little seance table. That is because I didn't want like Sims to have to walk through your house. So the idea was they walk in and straight away you're at the seance table and not walking through somebody's kitchen to get there. And I just added loads of these potions. I think I change it up a little bit and don't put this many down. And I end up putting the, I think, is it called Palo Santo? And the sage that is from the horse ranch pack on there with just like one potion next to it, because I just feel like a fortune teller would have something like Palo Santo or sage. I added a few of the magic books, of course, to the shelves. They do float a little bit here, so I did go in with tool mod again to get them to sit at the correct height, and I just did that off camera because it's super annoying. Now I'm just detailing the kitchen a little bit. Like I said, here's the flames just in the way. It's super annoying, but we've just gotta go with it. I went for a blue kitchen. I was trying to go for quite rich colours to contrast the like dark wood. So I stuck with a lot of reds, blues and greens, and I just think it looked really beautiful in the end. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Out the front I added a little sales table as well. I think it's the one from Jungle Adventure where looks like it's got like blankets and like throws over it, because I just thought it suited best. And you could also have your sim here selling stuff as well as doing fortune telling to actually make some money. So I had little paths swerving around. I tried to make it look like it was just like, oh, where they've walked, it's worn away at the grass. I really hate the fact that there's like pavement on the side of here, but I can't get rid of that unless I did some magical stuff with, is it called Creator World? I've never used it. I'd be scared to use it. So I'm not going to jump into that right now. We're just working on this save file. So I added details across the place by using a lot of wall decor, and it really brings everything together. I do some more at the end, just adding more details to the edge of the wagon, and it just brings it to life. And like I always like to, I like to add like the rabbit stump and the wild bird stump because these are great for adding more movement. You'll get rabbits just coming around and birds are flying around, and I really love that. I added the wishing well. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to keep this here. It is there currently, and even though this will be a save file, I'll be uploading them individually to the gallery when I've got like a description of each one. So I'll try and work on that before this video goes up, but it might be just after if it's not. So these shelves that I'm doing right now, I do change them out and use the ones from the Crystal Creations kit because they just looked a lot better. But here I am adding the bubble blower. I did have a little chicken coop here and I decided against it. I think that might work better in another build. And I thought the bubble blower was a little bit of fun. And I saw somebody else use this item to create like a sort of like tent. And I did end up using it in the end because I was like, oh, the roof doesn't look right. I couldn't find one that looked like a tent. So I did go ahead and use that, but I used tool mod to size it up to a size that would work. And then hung curtains all the way around the outside, which I think I mostly did off camera. I also ended up changing the roof. I ended up really liking this like mossy looking roof. So I had to get rid of the little things that stick out the side, the little broom things, which I didn't think made much sense anyway. I just wanted some detail on the roof. And then I added a little bee hive, not a beehive, it's a bee window because I've got the beehive and I thought it made sense. So I changed my mind with these curtains a lot, so I do end up going off camera, I think, to finish off the curtains, but I stuck with a blue colour with the curtains, and I ended up removing the walls to place them because it was just so much easier, especially after I had the little tent thing in that is from Island Living. I added some rugs down, so I needed to move the flowers that I placed down because they were just in the way, and I added cushions around the bubble blower because your sim will sit on these and use the bubble blower. Now I'm just adding some final details, and I forgot to pin on the inside, so I ended up using this one from Paranormal Stuff and put the moon one from Crystal Creations in the bedroom. I just thought that made a lot of sense. Again, these are my final details I'm adding, just random little paintings around the place on the wall. I ended up adding some more things to the outside. I wanted to add a little bit more greenery, so I added some plants in there. And I was just having a little bit of fun with it. Like I said, I was trying to make this look more interesting, so I added these little paintings but above the window to give a little bit of an interesting shape. It's only tiny small details, but when you layer things on top of each other, I just think it makes a massive difference. So I built this in Willow Creek as well because I wanted to start from the first world. I might pop into other worlds and do other builds in there also, especially like the ones I've already done, is place them down so they're nice and ready. I went ahead and had to delete them all from the like lots, which is so annoying because there's no easy way to do it. You have to go into build mode for each place, delete them, come back out, save, go back in. It's so annoying. So I'm doing that little trick thing with these little potions, and I put it in the cauldron to make it look like the cauldron's actually bubbling. And I switched these shelves out here, and then I'm adding some detail with those shelves, which are so beautiful. This worked on my pirate ship too, to add more detail around the edge. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!